Hi and welcome back. Well, in our project, we're pretty much at the point where we finished our design and we have our sample page looking exactly the way we're going to want our actual pages to look. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually create what's called a template from this sample page, and then we're going to use that template to create the individual pages on our site. Now, what exactly is a template? It's a model for your pages, and that model is going to be what all the pages in your site are based on. Now, you can have more than one template for your site, and as a matter of fact, it's very common to have multiple templates for a single website. You may have a template for your main pages, and then another template for your second level pages, maybe a third template for your tertiary pages or pages with special content in them. You can create as many templates as you want. You just need to make a model like we've done here with main.html and then use that model to create the template itself. The template has the advantage of allowing us to define two different types of areas on our pages: template regions and editable regions. Template regions are regions on the page that are common to all the pages that use that particular template. So again, for example, in our site, all of our pages are going to have this top bar and this banner and this collage here. The menu is going to be the same on every one. The structure in this area is going to be the same. We're always going to have a content area, and then we're always going to have a sidebar area. And then finally, every page is going to have a footer down at the bottom. So these are all examples of what are going to be left as template regions. Editable regions are areas that differ page to page. So again, for example, all this banner and heading material here and this navigation is common to every page. But the content that's actually in this area here, well, this is all going to change. We're going to leave our social media icons on every page, but again, this is going to be different on every single page. The same might be true of our sidebar areas here, where all this content may differ page by page. So again, the template regions are the areas that are not going to change page to page, but the editable regions are going to be the areas on the page that do have custom information or different information page to page. Now, the advantage of setting up templates like this is very simple and very straightforward. Let's say you create a site and you got it looking exactly like you want it to look. You create, let's say, the 20 pages that are going to be in your website, or the 10 pages, or however many pages you're working on. And then you decide a couple months later that you want to change out this graphic here, or you want to add a link to the navigation. Well, if you're creating your pages and saving them all individually, you would have to open up each one of those pages and make that change individually. So I would need to swap out 20 graphics here. I would need to go into 20 different pages and add the link to my menu bar. So that's going to take a lot of time, and since you're doing the same thing multiple times, it's also going to lead to errors eventually. You'll mistakenly put something in the wrong place or something, or you'll forget a page, or something will be left out. If you design your sites using templates, anytime you make a change to the template itself, that change is going to cascade and affect every page that was created based on that template. So using that model, let's say I had to add a link here, I just add the link to the top navigation bar to the template, and then the template automatically adds that into every page that was created based on that template. So you make the change once and it affects every page in your site, or at least every page that uses that template. You know, same thing is true if I want to change out my banner or my collage here, or come down to the footer and change the copyright date or add some information down there, or add a social media icon. It's going to make things much, much simpler for you. Now, there are limitations to templates as well. The more pages you have in your site, the harder templates are going to have to work to keep everything up to date. And if something breaks, it may not update some pages. So generally, I tell people, if you're going to have a site which has, let's say, under 20 pages or around 20 pages, templates are going to work great for you. If you've got a site that's got 50, 75, 100 or more pages inside of it, there are better techniques to use than Dreamweaver or Expression Web templates, and they're basically the same regardless of what program you're using. And most people, when they're creating large sites with lots of pages in them, use what are called PHP includes. PHP includes. And you can check out another video series on my site that will talk more about setting up sites with PHP. But for right now, we're just creating a site that has 7 pages inside of it. So we're going to use templates for that. So how do we create a template, add the editable regions, and then create the pages? Really simple. We have our main.html here open. We're going to go to the File menu, and actually Save as Template is grayed out here, and that's because I'm actually in live view right now. So I need to turn live view off. And now when I come here to File, I can select Save as Template. And you can name that template whatever you want. But name it something that's descriptive. Since I'm only going to have one template in my site, I'm just going to leave it alone and call it main. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit Save. Update links is always going to be yes. And you now have a new file called main.dwt, or Dynamic Web Template. Some people think this stands for Dreamweaver Web Template. It's actually Dynamic Web Template. And if we look over in our Files panel, we're going to see a new folder that was created called Templates, and that's where main.dwt is located. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and apply this template to a page. I'm going to go ahead and close that out, and you're going to see an error here. It says this template doesn't have any editable regions. Are you sure you want to continue? I'm going to click OK there. You can always come back and add that. And now I'm going to go ahead and open up my index.html file here. And if you don't have that, you can just go ahead and right click up here and do New File and create a blank page called index.html. And then I'm going to go to Modify Templates and Apply Template to Page, select Main, and then hit Select. And now that design has been added to index.html. And I'll save that. And one thing you're going to notice right off the back here, when I hover my cursor over any area here, I've got that circle with a slash in it, the no symbol. And that indicates that this is a template region. This is a region that's being controlled by the template, meaning you can't make any changes in this document. Now, you're going to notice here, when I hover over my content, I'm also getting that no. And that's because I haven't added any editable regions to my template. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is I'm actually going to close my index.html, and I'm going to open my main.dwt. And I'm going to add my editable regions by highlighting the content. So I've gone ahead and highlighted all the content in my main content area. I'm then going to go ahead and right click, Templates, and I'm going to select New Editable Region. You need to give each editable region a meaningful one-word name. Actually, they don't have to be one word. For instance, here you see it says Edit Region 3, but there can't be any spaces. So I'm just going to call this Content and hit OK. And now you're going to see Dreamweaver is going to show you a teal colored box around that content. So anything inside of this area is going to be editable. Now I'm going to go ahead and highlight this block of text here. I could have grabbed this image, but I don't want to. I'm going to leave that on every page. And I'm going to go ahead and right click in templates and say New Editable Region. And I'm going to go ahead and say Sidebar Top. Sidebar dash top, because we can't have any spaces. And then I'm going to hit OK there. And we've got that box around that content. And then I'm going to go ahead and highlight this area right here. And I'm going to insert another editable region. And I'm going to say Sidebar Bottom. And I want this calendar to be here because I want people to be able to click on the calendar and go to the events page. And I want this to be present on every single page. Well, now I'm going to go ahead and save this. And whenever you save a template, it's going to ask you, do you want to update the pages that have had this template applied to it? Well, in this case, all I have is index.html. That's all I've created with this template so far. So I can hit update here. If you're making multiple changes and you're just saving as you go along, you can hit don't update, and then after the last save, go ahead and hit update and update your page. I'm done for right now, so I'm going to hit update there, and it'll say update pages main index. I'm going to hit close there, and now let's go ahead and take a look at our index page. And you can see that content has been placed inside of an editable region. So I can now highlight the text, I can work with it, do anything I want with it. Same thing with the sidebar area right over here. But when it comes to this area right here, I can't make any changes because that's a template region. It's being controlled by the template. Same thing is true with my calendar here. So that's all there is to creating and using a template. Now, if I want to make some more pages, it's very, very simple. For instance, I need an About page. So I'm going to right-click up here on my top-level folder and select New File. And I'm going to name this About.html. I'll double-click on it, go to Modify, Templates, and Apply Template to Page. Select my template and click Select. And now that has been applied to that page. So now I can come here and instead of Welcome to Ourtown Country Market, I can say About Ourtown Country Market. I can open up my index page and maybe I want to leave that alone as Welcome to Ourtown Country Market. And I can continue to create all of my pages here. For instance, I've got About, I'm going to need Recipes, Gallery, Events. So I'm going to go ahead and right click right there and do Recipes, double click, Modify, Templates, Apply Template to Page, and now I can delete this, Ourtown Country Recipes. And you can continue creating pages and applying the templates to them. If you're creating a whole bunch of pages, you can also just go ahead and File, Save As, give it a new name, Gallery, and then create pages like that. And just continue to go to Save As, Events.html, Country Events, save it, and just continue to do Save As links.html. And I'm giving all these pages names here. You need to make sure that what you're naming them is the same as what you actually used for your top navigation here. So I can do save as contact.html. So again, you need to make sure the names you use here are the same as the names you used in your top nav. And if I want to take a look at that, I can just come in here to main.dwt, go into the code view, and there we can see index.html, about, recipes, gallery, events, links, and contact. And now let's go ahead and close all these. Actually, I forgot to do one thing. Whenever you can't see a file over here and you know it should be there, click this little refresh button. There's contact, and say contact us there. And let's go ahead and do the links page. Ourtown country links. Save that. And now I'll go ahead and open up the index page, and let's preview this in a browser and see how it works. And there is our main page. When I hit about, we go to that page, gallery, recipes, events, links, contact us. And again, you could completely customize any content in this area or any content in this area, and that's actually what we're going to go ahead and do in the next several videos. We're going to add a contact form and a photo gallery and a map and some other things to these particular pages. But you'll see how easy it is to create sites or pages based on templates. Now, coming back here, I'm going to go ahead and close that out. You can also remember what I said earlier. If you make a change to the template, that change is going to cascade into all of our pages. So let's see an example of that. I've got this calendar right here, but there's no heading on the calendar. And let's say I wanted to say events over the calendar, and then below that I wanted to say click the calendar to see more, or to see it to go to the events page, and I want to add a link to this little image right here. So again, if I hadn't used templates, I'd have to go ahead and make these changes to every single page. But since I use templates, I can just go ahead and open up that templates page and make the change once. So I'm going to come in here to code view here, and there's the right side. And you can see the code that Dreamweaver has added in here. Template begin editable region, template end editable region. And you can see there is the image. Whoops, I added something in there. Shouldn't have. So there is that image. And I'm going to go ahead and hit enter there. Just space this out a little bit. So that in and of itself doesn't do anything. What I need to do is I need to go ahead and add an H2 here and type calendar and close my H2. And then down below that I'm going to go ahead and put a paragraph of text that says click calendar to go to events. The events page, and then close that. We'll save that, and again it's asking me, do I want to update all these pages? I need to do one other thing. I need to add the link to this, so I'm going to say don't update. I'm going to go into design view because it's real easy to add links using the properties panel here. Remember, you double click on that to open and close it, and I'm going to click on that image, come down here to the link box and click the open, and I'm going to scroll down until I find the events page, select that, and we'll save it. Now I do want to update all these pages, So I'll hit update, close, and now let's go ahead and take a look at our, I'm going to collapse that properties panel. Let's go ahead and take a look at our index page, and we should see those changes have been applied to this area here. And now I can go ahead and preview this in Chrome, and we can see calendar. I maybe want to adjust the spacing there a little bit, and then there's the click here to go to the events page, and when I click that, we go to the events page. So making a change once to the template now cascades to all the pages that are based on that template. And again, you can have more than one template for a particular site and create as many templates as you want. In the next video, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about search engine optimization and a few things that you need to do before you actually get ready to publish your website. So I'll see you in the next video.